Hello! It is the glorious Saga Fu! And I have come to talk to you about underground comics! That's right, underground comics! Now, these things have been subverting youth for decades and decades and decades, and I just want to come on here and talk about underground comics now. So, this is my special Halloween episode about underground comics. So, one of the interesting things about these underground comics is they contained lots of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Now, one of the cool things, like one of my favorites is Dr. Atomic. I just noticed the price on that cover there. It's at $1. Dr. Atomic was great because it showed us how, it's representing the cats there, you know, this showed us how to do stuff. Now, the great thing about Dr. Atomic was that it would have things like this, the Dr. Atomic Do-It-Yourself Corner, which literally shows you how to make your own isomizer and hash oil rig. Pretty wild. I discovered this stuff when I was a child. It must have been 1978. Way too young to be reading this, but I love this stuff, and I've been collecting these and just cherishing these for a really, really long time. I was really lucky at one point in my life. Well, I've always been lucky with the ladies, but at one point in my life I was with this wonderful woman who went to the UK and visited London and brought me back a complete set of the UK edition of Freak Brothers, The Idiots Abroad, which is, you know, them leaving the United States and going abroad on adventures, right? So this is a really special edition because it's the only color edition I've seen that's been printed in any kind of quality. I've seen newer, different color editions, and they simply look like crap compared to, you know, what I've got on these pages. So I don't know, maybe I should scan these or something and make them available if they're that rare, or sell them on eBay. I don't know. You know, if you don't know, I sell horror movies on eBay. Horror movies, sci-fi, cult movies, but mostly monsters. Anything else is by default. You've got to have some other stuff, and obviously if I get a bunch of stuff in a deal, it's got a bunch of really cool Steve Martin movies in them. Yeah, that's not horror, but I'm still going to sell them anyways, or watch them. Anyway, so the Idiots Abroad 3-part travelogue adventure of the Freak Brothers. This is what they should have made the show out of, you guys. This is the kind of stuff you use for the scripts. The Freak Brothers show was the cartoon show that I saw the first 3 episodes. It was so lacking because A, the voices were horrible. Get the fuck out of here with those voices, man. And then the other thing is the scripts. These were scripts. The scripts I saw could have been like an episode of Friends, right? The Freak Brothers are not going to have, you know, episodes like you would find in Friends. This is the Freak Brothers. These guys are riding that train, you know, high in your brain, right? You know, and you know, I mean, look at this. This is good stuff. Anyways, this is actually my favorite. I want to highlight this one. This is the Freak Brothers 6 Snappy Socceroos. That's 6 tales about the Freak Brothers. This is one of the all-time greatest Freak Brothers comics, and this is where a friend of Fat Freddy's gets turned into a parrot, and, you know, hilarious hijinks ensue, right? That's, yeah, justice. Oh, I see how that is. Oh, that's fucking tricky, isn't it? Real tricky guys. So, yeah, so, you know, and then going back to Dr. Atomic, you know, this is, I believe, Dave Sheridan. Gilbert Shelton did the original Freak Brothers comics with help from Dave Sheridan and another guy whose name I can never remember. But anyways, when I was a kid, I would go through, and I was going through, like, my dad's drawers and stuff, and he's gone. Sorry, Dad. And, I'd find, like, these underground comics. Now, the ones he had weren't necessarily the ones that I had, right? Or that I would buy in the future. The ones I would end up buying in the future were definitely Freak Brothers. But there was some sex comics, there was weird adventures and weird tales and stuff like that. So amazing, right? In the 1970s, my dad has these hidden away, so I find them and steal them, and he kind of relents because he was a hippie, and so he just said, I'm not really going to be able to hide this from you, so go ahead, yeah, you read them, whatever, man. Don't tell your mom, right? Whatever. Not that I really had that parental mom influence. That's another story. Anyway, so, this Dr. Atomic is one of the greatest issues of all time, because this is the issue where they go and they discover the giant grass of Bangagong Valley. Bangagong Valley is a mythical place where giant grass grows. And so, as you can imagine, with their robots and, their flying machine, they were able to go and, just go into the Bangagong Valley and bang a gong. And this is the kind of thing that happens in the Bangagong Valley. So, this is good stuff. Nothing too horrible there. That concludes this beautiful episode today on Saga Fu, kicking back with Saga Fu, talking about underground comics. Let's see if you other guys have got some of those around you can talk about. Alright, anyways, my next show is coming very soon, and I am going to be talking shit about famous people I know. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Going to be real good. This one is going to replace the video that I uploaded yesterday that was just a hot mess. And, we're not going to have that. And I'll probably have my real face on for the next one, but no promises. Which one's really my real face after all?